circles.
Weird Realities Network presents Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales, where we pull up a log, roast a marshmallow, and settle in as these two blondes talk spooky tales, urban legends, and classic horror icons. Exciting guests, perky blondes, and sinister tales makes this podcast as good as a double stack s'more. So let's join Bethany and Krystal as they gather around the campfire in Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. We are joined by wonderful guest right today. Her name is Jenn Folk. She also publishes under Jenn Amato. I don't know if mine...
Oh, yay, thank you. It does.
Look at that mirror effect.
Yay!
Awesome. So she has several books out, the group series, which is awesome. You can find it on Amazon. She is also a podcaster on a few things as well. So we would like to introduce you to Jenn Amato, or Jennifer Folk.
Hi. I am sorry. We were having a good time back in the green room, so pardon me. But I am under the author name of JL Folk. I am pretty much I'm a Tucsonian. I live in Tucson, and I love the weather out here. It's just amazing. Moved here in 2020. My books are basically, there's three of them. They're the group series. Group Jana, the group Stacy, and the group Erin most recently came out in January. And, you know, I don't know. I'm here. I do podcasts. You said that. I do a couple of different podcasts. Just started As the World Burns, where I'm the host of that podcast, and we talk to dystopian and end of the world authors, and just coming up with some cool stuff. Next month, we're doing Mothers of the Apocalypse, and I'll be talking to some authors who, have some badass moms in as their main characters. And then we'll probably be doing the same for dads, because I think dads get the short end of the stick a lot of the time. So let's, pump up them dads, them daddy-os. But that's what we have going on. You can find that on the Book Asylum podcast. I'm also part of that because we have a couple. We have genre-based, and then the Book Asylum podcast is something that we do, which includes all genres. We just sit around, have fun, just like this, talk to our guests, and just try to find out every little thing that we can. And FBI, if you're watching while you're doing my background check, what's up? For work. yeah, work. That's pretty much it.
Well, I feel like we all kind of have that FBI man who's just like, oh, God damn it. Like, it's one
again?
of these people again.
Yeah, if there's an FBI
investigator, or are they just writing a book?
Shake his head a lot.
Yeah.
Hopefully, mine's like really weird ones, because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if I call my mom,
shut up.
Oh my gosh, Mike, we missed one episode. Sorry.
One episode.
Oh, ouch.
I told you we get called out.
Is that the mic?
Yes, that is Mike. Londa says, hey, Londa, I was telling Jenn, I was like, hey, Londa really talked you up to Mike. Like, if you want to watch read a good book, it's Jenn. So talking good about you right there. And then, of course, lots of crazy people here too.
Yes, I feel called out.
What's interesting is we talked about the calling out for the moms, the strong moms, and then the strong dads.
Yeah.
And I know Bethany, you've got Dan there in your books, so as a strong dad, which is kind of cool.
You and I gotta get together then. Do a little podcast switcheroo. You can come on mine.
No pressure, because mine is based off of our dad. So like he's constantly checking in, going, hey, what's up with my character?
Am I dead yet?
My poor mother, who I supposedly killed off in like the first 2 seconds of the book. So now I have to have a good character for her to come in on.
Oh man.
I know. My parents are big fans right now.
Do you guys find that you have, like, when you're writing your books and stuff, do you guys find you have a lot of people like, please kill me in my book, please kill me in your book, please kill me in your book?
Yeah. I do, just because I'm hooked up with the Horror Writers Inc. group and everything. Yeah. And so anytime, and I did the Zombie Book of the Month Club. And so oftentimes you'll have a bunch of people who are like, hey, I'm looking for a name, who wants to be killed off or who wants to do this, and they're like, yeah, I want this. But then you get the person who's like, I want to be a badass character, and I'm like,
that wasn't
badass.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
That wasn't what I called out for, but okay.
I'm looking for somebody to kill, you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. What about you though? Do you get that a lot?
I got 3 pages of names for a noir crime novel that I'm writing. That's a precursor to my friend Jeff, who passed away last July. Yeah, it'll be a year in July. Jeff Thompson. He did Epic Mayhem.
Yeah.
I'm doing a precursor to that. I'm doing it when Jenn Amato, because I was the lead character in it.
Yeah.
I was the lead female detective. So I'm actually going to do that first book, like the prequel to when Jenn Amato was just Jenn Amato, the officer.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that, and I did a call out because it's just, if you've read his Epic Mayhem series, it's just a lot of useless and senseless killing. And just everybody's exploding. They're dying. They're getting run over. They're getting shot. They're getting limbs severed. They're flying, So if you know him, he does that. So I have to emulate that because I want to keep with the storyline. So I'm like, I need people that want to die. And even my dad was like, yeah, you can kill me. I'm like, okay.
Greek thing on that somehow.
You sick people. I thought us authors were sick. You guys are sick. You readers are sick.
Mike goes, I've been killed by zombies, wolves, and even eaten by a T-Rex.
Well, that's interesting. How did that turn out for you?
Exactly.
Mike has seen and done it all. We've discovered.
Yeah.
So he's a horror book whore. Is what you're saying.
It's like, who wants to kill me off in their next book? Because
there's
still more ways for me to die.
Yeah, I haven't met them all.
No.
So it sounds like he's more into the splatter gore version of a book form, and so you've got to follow that.
I actually don't do a lot of splatter, but I do. The horror and the zombie genre is kind of where I'm at, and I really do enjoy that. Because I get hung up on some things. I'm a pantser. I'm not a planner. So I get hung up in certain spots, which is I should probably try planning once in my life. But when I get hung up, I work on something else. Mm-hmm. So I have like 12 projects going, and I have a sci-fi. I have a another zombie book. I have a general horror that I was initiated because I drove by a street called Cornman. Literally. On the way to Florence, I was driving, and there's a street called Cornman, Cornman. And I looked at that, and I was like, that would be a great book, and started writing that. So yeah, I have a couple of, because I have a pool business as well. We clean pools, and a couple of people in that, actually, one of them was my muse for this one, for Stacy. Her real name is Stacy. She's in the pool business, but in a different state. And a couple other people that I had talked to, I have as pool business owners who end up fighting zombies in the zombie apocalypse that they don't realize is happening. So that one's going to be, I'm probably, so to answer, long story short, but not short at all. hitting, 1A, 1B, 1C. Yes, I will probably stay in the zombie genre, maybe touching, definitely going into sci-fi, possibly considering touching into erotica.
Hey, there you go.
I don't know yet.
Is it going to be zombie erotica? I feel like that's a whole new genre. That's just
listen. I was just talking to somebody on an earlier podcast that I had pulled about this. It was Alice B. Sullivan I had on my show that will be airing on the 18th. And I just talked to her and I was like, are the zombies making out in your romance book? And she's like, no. I was like, why not? We need that.
I don't know if it's still going because it's been a few years since I've been there. But the last time I was in Vegas, I saw they had a zombie burlesque show.
Oh, geez.
And I really wanted to go, but it was just like, I mean, Vegas is
I would
hectic.
go to
So,
that.
Yeah, Vegas got everything.
And they do. They
Yeah.
do.
but I'm like, if zombie burlesque is a thing, why not zombie erotica?
Zombie
I know-
porn sounds perfect. I'm all about it.
Armand Rosalie, he does. I remember reading one of his first books, and there was definitely a scene where it was just like either a zombie almost raping someone or something like that. I don't know, but I remember reading it, and I was like, "Whoa, I was not prepared for that." Like, not to say that that's not
wow.
thing, but I'm just like, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking like brain eating,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. like molesting her brain for the
something, yeah,
matter
not
inside,
like full blown. Like I was like, woo, not
eating her from the inside out.
Allegory, but
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
I mean, I was just sitting there and I was just like, who's going to say it? Who's going to say it?
Of course.
I love how Jen before she was like, "Hey, are there any no-nos on your show?" And I was like, "No."
Because I
No.
can get pretty.
our
Our
parents
people are
do
not
watch the show.
surprised.
What?
I said our parents do watch this show. So.
No, it's cool. They're in a movie right now.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
Because I text him, I'm like, "Hey, do I need to send you a link?" And my Dad's all, "I'm in a movie." I'm like, "Okay, we're fine then.
Okay.
Do what you need to do." We got like
Watch
30
your
more
movie
minutes.
then.
So, do you tend to follow one particular style? Are you more comedy or drama or more, I mean, you're trying out the whole erotic, esoteric type. I mean, is there something that you tend to follow in? Or is it just splattered here and here and here and here?
Yes. It's a little bit of everything all over the damn place. Because originally the book started out me and Jeff Thompson talking, and he's like, wouldn't it be funny if you wrote a zombie? And this was before I even was considering writing. Wouldn't it be funny if you wrote a zombie genre-based book, a zombie apocalypse book where the female lead has to find tampons? I'm like, that would be hilarious. That's how it started. That's how this whole thing started.
Yep.
And in the first book, Jana is looking for her freaking tampons. She is hunting for the female products. And because nobody discusses that ever. We still have our period in the Zompac. It doesn't matter that that's going on, so nobody ever talks about that. And I touched on it in the first book and left it alone after. I was like, nobody gives a shit about my freaking cycle, or Jana's cycle. Just let it go. So
You just have you should have some background scene of just someone dealing with dealing birth control, and Jana just disappears.
yeah, exactly.
She's like, wait, I see some birth control pills.
Yeah, hold on.
Street
Hold on.
IUD.
You don't want to bring your kids into the zombie apocalypse.
Plan B, Plan Z.
Jeff's podcast was, in fact, I was on that podcast with Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
It was the padded room.
Ah,
Nice. There you go.
Oh, fine.
There you go.
So yeah, that I made that. Yeah, I did that. I made that logo. I was pretty proud of it. But yeah,
Nice.
we had. It was, oh my God, it was nuts. It was just a free for all of fuckery.
Yeah.
Thought it was.
So you
So it was
have
aptly named.
What's that?
you have your 3 books in the group series, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you basically started out in 2022 with the first one?
Yes.
Has it been every year with each book?
Yes. Each year I have put out one book.
Okay.
I have tried my hardest to put out 2 books a year. It always seems like work gets in the way. So, which literally, I really honestly, I can write at work, but I always end up having 8 million other things to do. So it suffers, but it kind of gives me that space away from the story when I need to think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm on my 4th book. I'm trying to tie it up. And I have, hi, Dungeon Dan. I have so many loose ends. With this being my first series, I can see my progression. I see where I've done way better over the 3 books time. But I'm like, oh shit, I have a whole lot of open space that I did not give answers to, a lot of questions that I didn't give answers to. So I was thinking about writing a 5th book just on the Federation, which is the bad guys. But then I was like, no, fuck it. I'll just make Jason longer. So the 4th book is the group Jason, and
Nice.
I'm not doing a 5th book. I was going to, and I'm not.
Well,
And
you've got your core people, so
yeah, exactly. And it's Jason is actually kind of like an end and yet a beginning for a new story in case someone decided that they wanted to do fan fiction in another city. Since I use my hometown of Toledo, Ohio, this can be, somebody else in some other city decides that they want to, whether it's meet up or, because my characters are driving to a specific location because they heard there was a safe zone, and they're going to find some stuff out along the way, obviously. And there's just so many ways that so many diversions, so many different things that happen that anybody could, if they wanted to, pick up and write out of my world, if that makes sense.
No,
So
that's
you
awesome.
You openly invite fanfic then?
I do.
I love that.
To me, it is the greatest honor on the planet. Just the fact I'm honored just to come on other people's podcasts because I'm the one that's always doing the interviewing. So, I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
No, it's awesome to have you. I was excited to see, because I know you're part of Written Undead,
Yes.
and I was part of Horror Writers Inc. And they kind of had like a thing.
A long
I don't
time
know what
ago.
it was, but they had a thing. Yeah.
Right. It was before us. So.
Yes. Which I was like, nobody kicked me out of either group. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay in both groups. And
Right. Why not? I'm in both groups.
Yeah, yeah. So now I'm like, Jen's gonna be our bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Jen will do it.
I'm gonna get right back to you, but I want to address Mike real quick. Mike, I'm trying. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm trying.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Correct that whip.
It's been a while. I know. It's been a while.
Mike, you're definitely not the only one that's waiting for that.
But
Dang, Krystal.
Wow.
I have had a lot going on in my life in the last few years.
Oh, I'm not denying that. I didn't say I was impatiently waiting. I just
You
said
have
I'm waiting.
time between midnight and 6 a.m.
Exactly.
that you're not doing anything.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I start work at 4 a.m. But okay.
Oh,
yes.
well, okay, 4.
Midnight
2
and
hours.
4.
You're allotted 2 hours of sleep.
There you go. Yeah, and Mike is saying about Jamie Hernandez's next book. Jamie Hernandez, I would love to get her on here. She's doing awesome.
I love her.
And Hadley's next book. Hadley does a really good job too.
I don't know much about Hadley. I know her. I know her and I are friends on Facebook, but I don't know much about her.
Which
but
one?
Hadley. I know that we have a lot in common. Because some of her posts, I just absolutely love her posts. She's very awesome. So
yeah. Well, Hadley is the creator, basically, of Weird Realities Network, and that is what we do our podcast through, is Weird Realities Network. And she's just such an amazing person. This podcast wouldn't be here without her. And I don't know who, she thought for some reason it would be great for us to have a podcast. I'm like, well, I'm going to get my best friend and my brother, and we're going to be like a bunch of blondes hanging out.
Yeah.
So Hadley's an amazing person. We'd like her. But anyway, back to you. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that Jason's going to have a book, because I know you have your core people. I'm almost done with the first one. I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to read all of it.
That's okay.
I literally have just the last little bit.
And
even my stepdaughters are like, can we read it? I'm like, no, you're 7 and 9. You can't read zombies yet. Don't touch
no.
any other talk yet.
Yeah, I've
got a few more years,
9
honey.
years old, not asking my mom and just sneaking the book off her shelf.
Exactly. Yeah, we were sneaking them.
I'm Gen X. We had libraries that had those books on the shelves readily available for us, and we did. Thank you, Stephen King and Dean Koontz.
Yes.
You just fucked up a whole generation.
Exactly.
It made us stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. We ain't scared of shit.
So tell us about your podcast that you have, because I know you've been on one and you just started a new one. It just premiered last month, right?
It just premiered the beginning of April.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been on the Book Asylum, which is part of the Written Undead Word Peddler Society. And we on the Book Asylum, we were originally the Written Undead podcast. And then we changed the name because we were interviewing the same 5 people in the zombie genre under that umbrella. We started getting actually more different genres. And when we started getting different genres, we were like, okay, it's time for a change, a revamp. So we came up with the Book Asylum podcast. That is pretty much just every single genre. We talk to all the authors, bring them in, try and get, we're pimping our hose. It's the only way that I can say it. We have, our core group of people, but then we also, we're trying to bring in other authors who are also indie authors, because we're very pro indie supporters. Just trying to get everybody made aware of these authors. And that ended up getting so busy. We were booked up until September of this year.
Nice.
So we had to break off into different genre based podcasts. So we still have the Book Asylum podcast on Saturdays, but we also have like mine is As the World Burns. And if any of you people know anything about soap operas back in the 90s and 80s, it's like As the World Turns, but it's As the World Burns. So I do post-apocalyptic, I do dystopian authors. I'm having that Mothers of the Apocalypse, I'm having the Fathers of the Apocalypse, but I'm also doing in between, I'll be doing stuff like Music of the Apocalypse, Movies of the Apocalypse, reviews and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I do. We also have a sci-fi podcast, and we also have a horror podcast. Dungeon Dan is our Real 9 horror podcast guy, and that man cracks me up. Him and his buddy Kevin, them two, they do such a good job, as much as they don't think that they do. He's got imposter syndrome, but they do a good job. And Jack has Tripping Through the Stars. Him and A.L. White are doing a sci-fi podcast.
Oh, nice.
And new author Paul Eisen. I say his last name wrong every time. Paul Eisen, he's new. He's got 3 books out now. He has Paranormal Proximity, which is a paranormal and fantasy podcast. So he just had on an actress from The Walking Dead, and her name is escaping me, and I apologize.
He was on Zombieland too, right?
Yes. Yeah. On Zombieland as well, so he had her on and did a nice little Q&A with her, and she was totes adorbs. But yeah, we have tons of stuff going on. Jack is extra, period. Jack is just extra.
Well, in addition to that, you also have your normal job, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you do?
I am a transportation officer for ICE. I work for a security company who is contracted with ICE, and we do transportation of detainees from detention center to detention center or to the border and kick them back across if they've been if they're like, yeah, okay, they want to go home and they're okay, we can let them go. They don't have any further time to spend in our jails.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at your Facebook site. You have a lot of really cool links on there. You also have an apothecary business.
Yes. Because I can't sit still. Because I cannot sit still.
Lana's all, I was born here. Don't tase me.
Come here, little girl.
It's us. That's what you would do. Y'all, I like you on the podcast, but in real life, you guys are going down.
Yeah. It's a tough world out there.
Exactly. But okay, so I was kind of perusing your apothecary thing because I have a nephew who's all into like manifestation and natural stuff and crystals, and I was like, ooh, I should send him this. But I saw something that I don't know what it is. I didn't click on it, but it was a hot foot powder.
Hot foot powder. What that is, it's hoodoo. It is hoodoo, and what that is it's a graveyard dirt mixture with a bunch of other stuff. You sprinkle it on the ground. You say after you have to enchant it. So you put all of your absolute hatred and anger in that little bottle, and then you dust it on the floor where the person that you don't ever want to see again walks. So if you have someone who comes over to your house on a regular basis that you did not invite, like, I don't know, an ex-boyfriend or a husband, sprinkle that shit on your porch wherever he walks, and he will never come back. He will get sick and he will never come back. He will have a physical reaction and will not come back. And it will not harm anybody else. It's only for that one particular person.
Does it have to be at your home though? Or like,
yeah, that's my question.
For example, coworkers.
Oh no, you can use it at work and it won't hurt everybody. It'll just hurt that one person. And it's not even hurt. It's more like we'll keep them away.
Strongly encourage them not to.
Strongly, like with physical sickness.
Abjuration.
Yeah.
And like, what if it's a person that you haven't seen for a while, but you want to make sure that you just don't ever see them again?
Then what you want is a separation spell. You do not want the
Crystal.
You don't want the hot foot.
I thought we got past that. No, I'm just joking.
You said I didn't have to listen to the
ever again.
Said I didn't have to listen to the restraining order anymore.
Exactly. So much.
You know what?
You canceled it. But yeah, no, you want the separation spell, and that consists of a ribbon and 2 candles, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah, because Crystal's you got what, a stalker, right?
I mean, that's not who I was thinking of because that was a long time ago. And I have
more. Stop. Not awkward silence.
And I was gonna say, like, how many names do you have? Because you might need a very big candle.
No, I was just thinking
bulk orders.
Like, because honestly, like the stalker, I haven't seen since college, and as long as he stays in Ohio, I'll never see him again. Because I haven't stepped foot in Ohio since I graduated.
Amen. Where are you from? Where in Ohio?
Ashland,
Toledo.
Wanda, I don't know why you're surprised.
You act like you ain't ever been here before, Lando.
All right. That's definitely not who I was thinking of. I was definitely thinking of a person that is not in my direct area, but sometimes could be.
You probably want more of a separation spell than the hot foot powder.
Okay.
You're gonna
is most of this along the lines of sympathetic magic then?
It's not necessarily sympathetic. It's more along the lines of setting your intention and putting it out there in the universe.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't call it sympathetic as much as I would call it just using the energies that you have around you. So
what?
And do you pull from different sources and stuff? Because you said that you mentioned this particular one was from not Valdun, Hoodoo. Do you also embrace other ones?
I'm very eclectic, so I pull. You can actually pull any spell from anywhere and adjust it a little bit. And if you don't want one part of the spell like hurt or injure anybody, you can revamp that and actually make it your own. And I suggest that if you do decide to use it later, you write it down in a journal or a book of shadows or something, so that that it worked. I want to use it again because nobody got hurt, but it kept them away, or it did this. So I'm always all about the book of shadows.
I kind of need to write something down because you just kind of gave me ideas for essentially a code writer using magic, and how they would, just change, alter things, and make it work, and certain things.
Yes, that's exactly.
And if the different sources are basically different languages, then sure.
Yep.
I'm going to write this down.
You go ahead and write that down.
Mike wants to know if you have specialty items such as eye of newt or ear hair of a Peruvian tarantula. Do they have ears?
That wasn't newt.
Yeah, that was my question. I'm like,
I know it's not newt, but I thought maybe that's what he was saying. Because
eye of newt is actually an herb. I think it's like a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading something about that recently where it was talking about eye of newt, ear of bat, and like all that stuff. It's not.
It's actually herbs.
It's all actually herbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Dungeon Dan's comment though about folk and lube.
Folk and lube.
First off, right before we get in on this, because we're going to continue this, everyone say hi to our very Christian mother, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. We'll behave.
So Jen, what's up with that folk and lube you got going on?
So, damn it. Sorry, Mom.
So I'm going to go back to that movie.
It's actually just my homemade chapstick.
Oh, nice.
And my last name is Folk. And actually, he gave me the idea to call it Folkin Lube.
But that works, though.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Folk, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know, like I had some homemade chapstick from a friend, and it was like it had vitamin E and stuff in it, and I had a really bad cold and my nose was all red and chapped, and I put it on there.
Oh, you can use it anywhere that's chapped.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all natural. I
might have to
went
check out this spoken lube then.
Yeah.
I really might.
Careful, I can hook you up with Ulta. No.
Yeah.
Does Ulta carry some Folkin lube though?
Ulta does not carry Folkin lube. Folkin lube is only available at
You need to go to Costco or something, so you get it in bulk.
Don't go
yeah. Yeah, Dan says it has so many different uses.
Dan, why are we not friends on Facebook? What the heck?
We are.
Right?
He's such a weirdo. He's so much fun, and you do need to friend him.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm on Facebook.
Yep. But we like the apothecary is kind of my revamp because I'm trying to get a I'm trying to restart my metaphysical shop because I had one in Ohio called the Broom Closet. I loved it. It was so much fun. You know, we sold sage and all the herbs, and we sold I had a lot of stones. I had tons of stones and stuff like that. And the shop had to close up because my husband, who was just my boyfriend at the time, but he had lost his job, so I had to shut the shop down, which is okay. It happens. It's fine. But I would like to start up another. It would be wonderful if I could, but it's probably not. I'd probably only be able to do it online for a long time because I'm so busy because I do 80 million other things.
Well, no pressure or anything, but Londa wants to know if we can get a code for a % off.
Londa, slide in my DMs, girl.
And then I just want to say, apparently, Dan and I are already friends on Facebook.
See? Yes.
Look at you trying to friend request somebody you're already friends with. That's kind of rude.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. I buy books that I already have, so I feel like this is in the same category.
Okay, so completely off topic, the My Library app.
What?
What the heck is that?
Oh, is that track it?
Yeah, like you literally scan your books in, it'll scan the barcode of your book, and it'll create a library for you. You can search by author, series, all kinds of things, so that you know what books you have, so that you don't buy books you already have. Also good for insurance purposes. Side note.
Wait, there's a story there.
There has to be. Something along the lines of someone.
He's all, what does my NDA not cover right now?
Or
No, I don't think there's a story there. I'm just saying, like, it's good for insurance purposes because you have you have your whole inventory right there.
There you go.
Just
So
in
if
case
something
some
happens to
apocalypse
them,
comes out, you know.
I mean, insurance is probably not going to ask for the full list, but you can at least be like, oh, I have 500 books. And then if they ask,
I
see
have
what you're
I have
saying.
that.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
you can be
I
like,
feel
it
like
keeps track,
make
it
up
keeps
for the lost
inventory
product.
for you. It keeps your
Okay.
inventory for you. So if you're at the bookstore and want to see, do I already have this book? You can check the My Library app.
Oh, I thought it was
And like also,
someone-
if something were to happen and you lost all your books and had to put in an insurance claim, you could be like, I have 500 books. And then if they wanted to be like, can you verify that? You could send them information from the app.
Well, yes, I can for my library book app.
Exactly.
But like my mind went something else, and I was like, well, if you ever get like on the hook for murder and they pull up your My Library app and it's all like 16 books of how to commit murder, that would
that would be more of a detective.
However,
that doesn't look the best.
However, if you're an author, you have an alibi.
Exactly. We're always writing a book.
Writing a book.
Lana wants to know if it works for ebooks.
Yeah, you can enter them manually as well. So you
Nice.
could enter your ebooks there.
I just want to say Dan thinks you have some big stones right now.
He always thinks I have big
Londa
stones.
cannot get enough crystals, and I don't know if that's like crystals or crystals.
No, you can't. I have them.
And she spelled it as crystals. So we're going with that.
But we all
I
have one
have
for
them all over. I got, oh my God, this is going to sound really weird. Okay, so my ex-husband, his now ex-girlfriend, we were friends now that she's broken up with him.
I get that.
Common
yeah,
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gave me, I don't know, those 4-drawer plastic containers that you can get from like Walmart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
4 of those full of stones.
Dang.
And I'm talking
Those are
big ass.
Those
This
are
big bad boy's $50 that her mom paid for that she just gave to me.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, are you sure you don't want money for this? Because this is like thousands of dollars. And she's like, no, get them out of my house. I was like, gladly.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some things that like it's worth just getting rid of them really is worth it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was, her mom had passed and she really missed her mom. And, this chick is really awesome. She's the only problems that we ever had were due to my ex-husband. But she actually gave me, I have a huge, I'm not even shitting you, a huge crystal ball like this on a huge stand. Yeah. It's a monster.
It's awesome.
It's a monster.
That's awesome. We should hook you up with our nephew Zach. He actually had the kid's 18. All right.
Yeah.
He has a published book on manifestation. He is probably the only person in our family who's going to ever invest and become a millionaire. So we're all going to be best friends with him. And he has a crystal business on Etsy already.
Oh my God.
He hasn't graduated yet.
This kid's going places.
Yeah. So if you want to talk crystals, he's the one.
Holy cow.
With.
That's great.
To be fair, our brother is actually the finance person out of our family. So he's way better at entrepreneurial stuff.
And your kids are always better
Yeah.
than you.
Mhm.
So yeah, I get that.
Mike says you should advertise your Folk and Lube on the Folk and Weird podcast.
Oh,
that would
that's funny
definitely
because I
bridge the
folk and
gap.
did.
Oh man, those guys are going to be like, "What? Why are we getting all these
What is-
messages right
Yeah,
now?"
what is going on?
Londa, we'll see if we can get that. We had Zachary on, so we'll see if we can get him on again sometime. But I'm sure
that would be
we have
awesome.
to talk about it. Lee says Jennifer was a weapon.
We weren't supposed to talk about that, Lee.
And then of course Mike, because Mike knows everything about everything. He always has some quip about everything we talk about, and I love it. He went to a crystal show recently, and their little itty bitty crystals were anywhere from $8 to $20.
Yeah, inflation didn't just hit gas and food.
Yeah.
If you want to worship, inflation has, it's insane. I don't understand it myself. I have a friend in Ohio. She has a shop called The Awakening for All. Wonderful shop. She has tons and tons and tons of crystals, and she's reasonable.
Mhm.
And if you guys can find her at The Awakening, I believe it's theawakeningforall.com, or just look up The Awakening for number 4 all. Her shop is really awesome. She is such an amazing healer. She's the goddess brought her to heal, and that's all she wants to do. So eBay, you never know if you are getting anything real.
Was that Mike's comment you were reading?
Yeah,
I buy mine.
They always say it's 9 inches.
Right? They said it was 9 inches, but did you check?
Is that man inches or is that?
Well, there's a TikTok where like they actually have someone holding a tape measure, and it's
I saw that.
Yes, and they're like, show us 9 inches, and everybody's off. And like one time, the dude went right on 6 inches, right? And like he was shocked. He was like, oh my god, that's right. And like he couldn't do anything else with this TikTok.
Well, I'm done.
The guy called it. And he was like, well, that's the end of my
enough.
series.
He's like, I guess I can't say that anymore.
But I mean,
I'm
know
good like that.
Sometimes when you talk about crystals and you talk about manifestation and you talk about all that stuff, some people are like, ooh, that's weird stuff. And other people are like, this is amazing. But I the first half of my career, I was in the spa industry.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I may not be like as much into it as my nephew and some other people, I do believe in the power of energy. Yes. Because I had a previous person in my past that other people may know that I'm no longer associated with. Yes. Through Lego fun things called divorce. Anyway.
Is that who you were talking about? Because I had no clue. No idea.
But it's like I could feel when they have that phrase where you can cut the tension.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
it's
energy.
a literal thing. Yeah.
And I could literally feel that person when they came home from work before their truck even pulled into the driveway. I could feel them coming home.
Yeah. And rage is a motherfucker.
Exactly. You can feel that anger and that tension. And so while some people get more out of it than others, and other people are just like, that's weird stuff. If you ever felt like you walked into a tense situation, mm-hmm. or you ever felt like someone was really angry and they didn't say anything, that right there is energy.
Yep.
Like that could be a scientific thing. It can be a religious thing. It could be a spiritual thing. But no matter what, that is some type of energy that someone senses about someone else. It's like animals. Animals can sense, tension and fear and anger and joy and all that stuff. So
it's just like anytime a mom says, well, I just don't like him and I don't know why. Mother's intuition. Exactly. Everybody's got a little bit of mother's intuition, male or female. It's just a sixth sense that you do have. Women, yes, are more in tune unless they work on it. And, a lot of people some people are very sensitive and it's all about your third eye and how much you're open to it. But your gut feeling, my gut tells me you got to follow it 100%. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You have to.
Well, I think for women, like our gut intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, like it has to be more developed than men's because we're more vulnerable than men are.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also we're taking care of kids too. We, the babies kids can't tell us when they're super young, what they need from us, or, that's how a lot of times mothers are able to protect their young because, that is nasty because I'm getting a really weird feeling, So yeah, I absolutely would wish that everybody, including myself when I was younger, would follow gut feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lee wants to know if you have dad intuition. Is that like daddy issues? Sorry. I read that halfway through you're saying that, and I'm
These are my friends.
I'm reading the comments and I'm living for him right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike's one. I really want my guardian angel. My guardian angel like retired a long time ago. They were
Mine's
like
drunk.
"Can't do it."
She's always drunk.
Yeah,
She's like, Jesus Christ, again.
we're gonna find them like down at Bevmo at the corner somewhere,
They're all living in a van down by the river.
with a sign. We'll guard for food.
I need somebody that's not as out there.
No psychos, please.
Your guardian angel gets a crystal and hot foot powder against you.
Right. Exactly.
This has never worked. Oh man.
Good
But, well,
Lord.
Anyway,
Yeah. Oh, this is fun.
I told you. She's like, "What can I expect from your podcast?" I'm like, "I don't know. We just drink and we talk about it."
Yeah, it's whatever.
Oh.
It's whatever.
Yeah. We go off on so many tangents.
I like it.
Get back to it.
I like it.
Yeah, sometimes we get back on track.
Every once in a while.
So what okay, I'm gonna post this to you. If you had your writing career and you have your podcasting and you have your ice stuff and you have your apothecary.
Apothecary.
We'll go ahead and
Because a pocket full is something different.
The apothecary?
can I just say, all right,
Yes, please do.
tangent.
Can you say apothecary? We don't know yet.
No, absolutely, I cannot. Just like I can never say the word aluminum.
Aluminum?
I can never say that word. I've never been able to say
Are
that
you
word.
American or British?
Right.
I'm,
It is
you know,
two very different
not
sounding words,
over.
depending on which way you're thinking.
Aluminium.
but here's what I'll say. Okay, I have to weigh in with my fat doctor tomorrow, so I have not eaten very much.
Oh.
She's using the low blood sugar defense.
I love shenanigans.
Exactly.
She's always like this.
So what I normally do before a podcast has much more of an effect on me at this very moment. So that's why I can't say that word.
No, you just can't say it.
Did you just say pot and carry?
She might have.
It is safely, stored in my safe right now. But anyway, I'm not going to say which one. But well, my mother's over here probably taking notes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Search Bethany's safe.
Oh God.
What is CBD oil? No.
Yeah.
Just you're saying, Mom? Rikki said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And then of course Lee's all first out talking about selling crystal.
Oh, dang.
He's in Ohio. You have to excuse him. They do crystal meth over there. It's the first thing he thinks.
Different type of crystal.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There.
Solid
Crystal.
solid crystal. Oh, that doesn't help the picture at
No,
all.
I don't
Because
think
that
that
looks like a big chunk of meth.
No. We should find another.
Oh,
And then
fuck.
you got Mike over here. He's all chupacabra.
I'm starting to think we might need that chupacabra as our mascot now.
Mascot.
It keeps getting up there all the time.
You know what? The chupacabra
you don't
does
know
make
where
an
else to go,
appearance in
just
like
bring up the
all of our
chupacabra.
episodes. Exactly. Every episode, chupacabra. We got him on there.
Well, ours is anal leakage. It's usually is what makes it every
South Park had something to do with that in Chipotle, didn't they?
probably
Yo.
or Taco Bell, but
Yo.
I mean, I just always think those baked potato chips that caused it.
oh, those are so
which ones?
bad.
Back
Baked?
in the 90s, they had those like fat-free baked potato chips, but they caused anal leakage, and they literally said it on the bag, like may cause anal leakage.
It was a warning.
Were they also like a diet fad thing? Because
Yes.
I mean, well, then people are going to do that. They're like, yeah, I'll wear a diaper. This works.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the guy who has to type that on the bag? Like, he's going to go home that night and be like, I literally had to put this as a warning.
I can't
There's
even
gotta be
imagine.
One job. You have to type warnings like that. Like,
Yeah.
because think about, like, every time I see like cigarettes be like at
May
like the
cause low
store or
birth
wherever.
weight.
The Surgeon General's warning is always like it's always worded a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
And
On
like
each
sometimes
individual
it'll
pack.
be only specifically talking about pregnant people. Sometimes it talks about lungs. And I'm like, I think that'd be fun. Let me just come up with all the warnings for everything.
You are odd. You are odd, Krystal.
I mean, probably it was a test group that found that out the first time, though, Mike. Like, because to get FDA approved, there had to be testing, right? They have a whole test room of people full with anal leakage. I just feel bad for the janitor that had to clean that up.
Krystal, I'm laughing at you, but as we're
Yeah. She's not laughing at you. She's
Okay, what's going on in the comments? I can't see them. Now I'm super watching out. I'm trying to see the comments.
This is gonna be your new low. And you're welcome.
I like how she keeps typing. She's like, yeah, I'm no, this is what I meant to say.
Uh-oh. What does that mean when Mom says draw one?
I think Mom's just a little behind on her.
I think she wants Rick to get control of us.
Good luck.
So for the viewers at home, okay, and Mom, listen up. I think you're just like a minute or so behind, maybe, on what you're saying versus what you're typing versus what we're saying, because we're talking about anal leakage.
Them dang words.
We're talking about that right now.
Talk about that thing that comes out your butt.
And the comments I have from you, Mom, is Rick, you should draw one. And as we're laughing at that, Mom corrects herself and goes, draw one.
I'm like, is that a punishment? I'm thinking, is that a punishment? What does it mean when she says that? Is this Uno?
The mother support in this. But it just came at the wrong time. I'm so sorry. This is my shining star as your only daughter, Mom.
Oh my gosh, is she talking about drawing a logo?
She's talking about I think the chupacabra.
I totally thought she was saying the line needs to be drawn and you need to stop talking about
I thought we were in trouble.
No, she's trying to talk about drawing like the chupacabra or something. That's what she's trying to talk about. But her comment is like 1 minute too late.
I love it.
And Mike's like, this whole episode's gone.
I mean, you could draw a chupacabra with anal leakage problems.
Dude.
Yeah. And you will never forget that.
And then of course, because I love Londa, she's like, Bethany, your cat's in the TV screen.
It's distracting. I see eyeballs.
No, I like how he's just been sitting there so nice.
He's sitting there and he turns his face and you see the eyeballs and they're looking at you.
He's like,
not right now.
So we saw your dog, Jen, but
one of them.
Cat too, or
no? I have 3 German Shepherds.
Okay.
Aw, cute.
Yeah.
And who was that?
That was Lilith. I don't know why. Every once
tell me you watch Supernatural.
Of course I do.
Thank you.
That is when I'm sitting here writing. Mama Kathy, you're about 20 minutes behind. God bless her. Why are you changing the subject, Mike?
Yeah, it's like your house is haunted. That's where
everyone else sees the cat.
There is no more topic to this podcast now.
No, I actually have Supernatural on in the background when I'm writing.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yes, I have a TV directly across from me, and when I'm writing or up here doing whatever, even if I'm like, because my dumbass decided to take a medical billing and coding class.
That's actually cool. I was looking into that.
Yeah, aapc.com, girl. But I'm taking the medical billing and coding class, and I would listen to Supernatural while I'm at work. When I have no transports, I sit there and I do my classes and or write. So I may have like 4 hours. I may have all 8 to 10 hours that I'm not doing anything. So I can bring stuff and do that. And
Is that
so yeah.
amazing?
What's
Being
that?
at work and not having anything to do? Like, is
Girl,
that amazing?
It is. It is.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. My job is awesome.
I
will
could
never.
work 13 hours a day and still have a million things to do.
Yes. And I work anywhere between 10 and 12 right now, 10 and 12 hours a day. But I take my laptop to work. Dan, you'll.
I'm trying not to bust out. I was like,
And the real purpose of the broken lube is revealed.
If I knew your fucking middle name, Dungeon Dan.
it's Falcon
Lee. We're done with meth. We're done with meth.
I'm not posting that. I think my mom's had too much.
So you watch or you have Supernatural off in the background while you're writing.
Yes.
R.A. Salvatore, for example, is kind of famous for fantasy novels.
Mm-hmm.
We'll listen to World of Warcraft music in the background. And yeah, and then I generally will either go with instrumental ballads and stuff or electro swing, as odd as that is.
Really?
I meditate at night.
From Netcore.
So like I have a sleep headband and stuff, and I listen to meditation music and I meditate at night. And I have affirmations going all 8 hours of sleep. Best sleep I ever get. But I like during the day, there's so much going on everywhere that I raised 3 kids that I know how to tune things out. So I can just, it's like, I can definitely tune stuff out especially if my name's being called. My husband will attest to that. He'll be like, honey, I'm trying to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of the world. I'm sorry. But, I will, I don't really watch the show. I hear it in the background. I love my Winchester boys. I love them all, every single character. And I really like the show because I think they got a lot right. And Eric Kripke, the original writer of the show, is from my hometown. So of course I had representing. But yeah.
We'll touch on Supernatural in just a second because I feel like we could have an entirely different season on just Supernatural.
Yeah.
So you meditate at night. Rikki, what is it that you do?
I sleep.
Well, but you listen to
Do you? Maybe I should try that.
I personally would love to try that. I have horrible insomnia.
Keep in mind, Halo does wake me up every hour and a half because she wants water from the bathtub.
Yeah.
But,
there you go. But what is it that you listen to?
Usually instrumental ballads and fantasy sweeping stuff like that. But then sometimes I'll go into calypso or electro swing and nightcore electro swing, where it's sped up and a little bit faster. Well,
I've never heard electric.
That's like a subgenre of a subgenre.
Yeah.
Well, nerd.
It's very interesting. I like it because it sounds edgy.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty cool.
I listen to like 9 Inch Nails and John Wick when I write, which is like so different from everything you guys are talking about.
I can definitely tell by my handwriting when I've watched, because I also watched all 3 John Wicks before they left Netflix. So I was watching John Wick while I was writing notes. I can definitely tell when I was writing those notes while I was watching the show. It's like totally different writing, and like it's very okay. Gotta get this, hurry up, because John Wick is boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's definitely an exciting movie, and then I can tell when I'm watching Supernatural because it's very purposeful. My writing and so
soul searching.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't watch bang and shoot 'em up movies while I'm while
Krystal,
I'm writing.
I'm curious with your industry being in what you do in the high stress level job that you have as well. What do you do to unwind?
Sleep.
Is she pleading the fifth, or is she an alcoholic?
I felt that comment so much. Which is probably why I really like your character, Jana.
Yeah. She's a good girl.
Yeah, she tries hard.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, during working hours, I listen to crime podcasts, or when I do have, I'm just going to ignore Dungeon DM for a second.
Trust me, you want to, but you can't.
Like, I listen to like true crime podcasts, or I do have a Zen playlist that I created on Spotify for like the really stressful days. I will listen to that while I work because it really is. It like calms me down because I do work a high stress job. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, Lee, you were asking about what cat that would be. This jackass.
Oh, like a baby.
Yeah, don't let the face fool you. Okay, this mofo comes up at 4:30 in the morning and bites my nose with all his glory of his jaws that he has right there.
Yeah, time to get up. Feed me, Mom.
Yeah, because they're so used to my early schedule. They're like, "Why aren't we eating at like 2 a.m.? What's going on?" They don't understand that's not a normal breakfast time. Exactly. That is my response every morning.
That's not a good way to be woken up. Like, come on.
And then his brother just pees on everything. So that's my life.
I have the subtlety cat. She'll sit on my chest and then slowly reach for my bottom lip with her claw. I can sense when that is, and I can sometimes catch her paw, but from asleep.
That dog Lilith will just climb up on the bed and lick the shit out of my face.
Nice.
In the middle of the night.
Nice.
Just like, Mom, I gotta pee.
My cat's a rag doll, so she's
super
weak. So
you pick her up and she goes, ugh.
Yeah.
No, see, here's the thing.
She lets me sleep. It's fantastic.
Typically on our show is all of our guests, their animals kind of make a debut. And then Halo tends to just meow from the background because she's like the most chill cat ever. And we all love Halo. Indy just dominates and is like, where's my camera? Like, that's what Indy wants. And then Olive will be in the background with her legs spread apart, just licking whatever she
likes to spread it. Right now, she's actually in the other room, but
she's an exhibitionist.
She's very much an exhibitionist.
She needs her own OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's what I say. Her only paws. That's what she wants.
Only paws, yes.
Her only paws account would make a lot of money.
Yeah,
hey, exactly. And then you wouldn't have to work your high stress job anymore.
No,
right?
No,
right?
Kitty porn, where it's nude cats all the time.
Oh my gosh! Like, I don't know if you guys know of Junie the cat on TikTok. I'm like, why doesn't my cat do that? Like, come on! Like, so Junie is a rag doll.
The toes.
The rag doll, and she likes to jump out at her owner to scare her.
Yes.
Aw, that's cute.
They play. Like, my rag doll doesn't do that. Why isn't my rag doll making me millions of dollars? I don't know if they're making millions of dollars, but they're making more than Olive's making me.
Get your ass in gear, Olive.
I just want you to be my new income source, okay?
Exactly. Mama's got
freeloader. Stop being a freeloader.
Well, Jen, we're gonna have to have you on when we do a supernatural episode because we tend to do a top favorites episode of each season. And last season we did of season 1 of Supernatural, so we found like our favorite episodes of it. So obviously this season we'll probably do a season 2 favorite episodes. I'm rewatching Supernatural. Well, I mean, everyone's rewatched Supernatural. I feel like of all of our
I'm constantly watching Supernatural. Like when I sleep, I turn on Supernatural and eventually fall asleep to it.
But I literally waited, I think like 6 or 7 months before I rewatched it again. So some of the episodes I'm actually like, like this
I don't remember that. Yeah.
I know. I was like, I must have slept last season. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That must have been the one I fell asleep through.
Exactly.
Whoop.
It's what I put on when I fall asleep at night, and I'm like, I need something nice and relaxing. Supernatural.
And it's like,
Because
it's nice
what's not
you fall
relaxing
asleep to
about
it.
demons, witches, and archangels?
Well, it is when Dean and Sammy are in the case. Like, they're gonna take care of it.
Yes, just keep talking. Just keep talking, guys.
They don't always save their people, but they save my night. So
Yes.
Right?
They definitely, they don't understand what they do.
I love how Mike's like, I'm rewatching Harry Potter. Which is the funny thing, Mike, Axel's actually reading Harry Potter for the first time. He's never read the books. So he's reading Harry Potter, and him and the girls are watching the movies. So
good books.
Exactly.
And he's going to be very disappointed.
Don't
Because the movies are nothing like the books.
I know.
Actually, I think the movies left out some very problematic things that were in the books, but it's just me.
To be fair, the movies were already 3 hours long. So
That
it's
is
hard. It is hard to bring like a book to a movie.
Yeah, you can't include everything from a book in a movie. Like, it's just,
Then don't make the damn thing. That's my opinion. Don't make the damn thing.
Well, I never read the movies.
Or go the route, for Game of Thrones, where you just don't even bother finishing the books.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that didn't end well for Game of Thrones.
I love this thing. I sat in at the Tucson Festival of Books one year for a panel, and it had Diana Gabaldon, who is the creator of the Outlander series. Okay. Mm-hmm. You had another guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he did like a Fae series, I feel like, that was on TV. And then you had Chuck Wendig was in it, and he wrote a lot of books for like the Star Wars world and a bunch of other things too, but that's what he was on the panel for. One of my favorite things was Diana Gabaldon was like, yeah, so I had lunch with George R.R. Martin and stuff. And she was like, and I kind of called him out on it. She's like, I'm sorry, but at least for my series, I make sure I have the book done before the series premieres.
Savage. Good God.
Right then, I was like, I'm going to read your series.
Yeah,
right? Like,
that's a win for me. That's so cool. It's very interesting to be in. I've never been to that Tucson. What is it? The Tucson Book Walk?
Tucson Festival of Books.
Yeah. I've never been. I didn't even know it existed until this past year, and I was too late. I wanted to go and I wanted to do it, but I had just started this job and I don't have any time yet. So hopefully next year you and I can do a table. But
I'm going to say right now, we can't afford it. I've looked. I don't
really.
Her budget, my budget, I can't afford it. It was like $800.
Holy Jesus God.
For one tent that didn't even have electricity or anything.
So you're sitting outside baking.
Yeah, but Tucson Comic Con let me know.
Oh,
we can afford that.
Jesus. But yeah. That's insane. But insane, again, I would love, just to know that, people that I've seen when I was working at Books A Million that had books in there, people that I know on Facebook that I am friends with on Facebook, but don't know them in real life, like Jonathan Mayberry, they were all there and all in my city. And I'm just like, I don't even have the 5 minutes to go over there and say hi or, introduce myself or let alone, make my way through just to see what was going on. And it was really upsetting that I couldn't go.
Jonathan Mayberry he's part of Horror Writers Inc. And he was actually going to be on a couple panels, and I was scheduled to be on the same days as him. And then he canceled like day of, which I get it. Dude, Jonathan Mayberry, I can't touch the man. He is so successful and he has done amazing with his career. But he came, like you said, he came to Festival of Books, and I lost my nerve. I couldn't go up to him. I couldn't do it. I'm like, I wanted to be like, hey, we're part of Horror Writers Inc. Like, like, what the hell is that? Like, he probably had no clue.
Yeah, he's probably like, I'm part of so many book clubs,
I know. And I love my boyfriend Axel to death, but he's like, yeah, you should have just walked up. You wouldn't know who you were. You could be like hooked up and have a movie deal by now. I'm like, yeah, doesn't work.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah. Doesn't work like that, but
No.
enthusiasm.
Right. Why don't you write and send my stuff in?
Exactly. Londa wants to come to the Texas Author Con.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I may do that next year. Like I said, I need to have the vacation time to be able to do stuff. I am just barely going to be able to do the Mad Monster Party going to Glendale in July.
When's that?
July.
July. Sorry. I meant to say, what is that?
July 12th through the 14th. Mad
Okay.
Monster Party up in Glendale. It's a horror con. All of the cast from Scream will be there.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, like
Your old
original
cast.
Scream?
Yes, like Scream 1.
Oh.
Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, Rose
Oh my
McGowan. One of the Scream guys, one of the Ghostface guys, the Osbournes,
That's like 6 people.
Yeah, all 4 of the Osbournes are going to be there.
Ooh.
Ozzy, Sharon.
Eh.
There's another, let's see, who else was there? A guy from, I think he was in House of a Thousand Corpses, one of the Rob Zombie movies.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, Rikki just disappeared.
Hi. It's good
Like,
chatting.
Rick, you were in a monster anthology. This will be great for you. And he's all, peace out. So,
Yeah.
he's
So,
doing his registration.
but there was, and there's also,
Welcome back, Rick.
Sorry, Halo found the computer. She's like, you're off now. I need one.
I know. I'm hungry. Denied.
So, there's and then there's Lou Diamond Phillips that's going to be there. There's going to be a guy from the House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie movie. I don't remember what his name is. There's going to be a bunch of people there, and it's going to be huge. And I'm really excited because this is actually my very first, horror con, any kind of convention, period.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I went out and started getting and making all sorts of really cool things. I made my own can koozies with my book on there.
That's so awesome.
My book covers, and I even got like little brown shopping bags with handles, and I got some stickers, and I'm just going to stick them on there. It's going to have my information on there so that they can put their goodies in.
Send us your info and we'll promote it on our stuff. So
Sure. Thank you.
While you're
like
up
how
there,
Lee's all, Jen, you read Rikki off. Honey, you have not met Rikki.
He seems to be stronger than he looks.
It's like koozie.
It's a koozie.
that's really what it is.
It literally is what it is.
It's a fake koozie.
Yeah.
Jacuzzi. There you go.
Jacuzzi.
Like a jacuzzi. Oh my God. Sorry.
Real excited. You got real excited.
This is the blonde aspect. So, right there. Lee goes, I hear you kill off the great dude Aaron. Well, Lee, that's a spoiler. We can't share that yet.
It was him. I killed him. It's the only reason he knows. I was like, yeah, dude, I brought you in on the second book, but you're not dead until the third. Sorry.
I mean, he gets to be around for a little bit then.
Yeah, he sticks around for a little bit, and then I kill him off. But the way that I kill him off is kind of Ohioan in a way.
Nice.
You
It's an
stab him
Ohio
with
way.
corn?
Huh?
You
No,
stab him
I did
with
not
corn?
shove any corn anywhere in any of his
That's
orifices.
where I got the corn man from. So.
Yeah, but it's definitely an Ohio thing, I would think.
Oh.
But yeah, you'll have to read the third book.
Lee's all so mad.
So mad.
I hate you, Lee.
All right. Well, I'm having a good time, but I just checked my app and turns out my kids are actually headed home. So we're gonna have to kind of cut this short, guys. Sorry. Not short. We're going like 7:15.
I was gonna say
Yeah, it's already over.
We're doing good. But Jenn, thank you so much for hopping on. It's been a blast.
Thank you for having me.
If
You guys are tons of fun. And I don't mean by your weight. Thank you. You guys
tell us my fat doctor tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. I'm scared to go to a fat doctor. Okay, I don't even go to a regular doctor.
She basically says you're fat. Here's what you need to do, and I go okay. And then
I can look in the mirror and do that myself. Why would I pay someone? It's like the whole gynecologist thing. I can feel myself up or have my husband do it. Why am I paying someone for that?
Yeah, there you go. With some awkward silence over here.
Poor guy. I'm so sorry.
He's used to it. The comments, not the gynecologist.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I think it's been super fun. We're definitely going to have a supernatural episode. We'll bring you on, and just an announcement, I have to bring on my mother's neighbor, who's a cool kid, and he helps my parents out a lot, and he's a supernatural fan. So I told him he could be on the show.
Better. Heck
so,
yeah.
Yep, we're gonna bring this kid on. He's super cool. Rikki, thank you for joining us again. We pretty much declared you as one of our hosts now. Like you're gonna have to get the blonde highlights so you can be part of the show.
Tips.
He's like, I can do that.
He's all sold. I'm gonna get a phone call from John later going, what the hell are you doing to Rikki? But Jenn, go ahead. If you have any shout outs you want to do, or if there's anything you want to, like a place to advertise where we can find you with your podcast or your books, now's your time. Go ahead and shoot it off, whatever you have there.
You can find me on Facebook, JL Folk Author. You can find me at jlfolkauthor.com. I do have the ability to do signed books, and you can order them through the website there. So just do that. If you want a signed book. If not, you can find me on Amazon. And then, just shout out to Angry Eagle Publishing at angryeaglepublishing.com, who has so graciously kept me on as an author. And they really, I was just thrilled to get the chance. So I really appreciate everything that they have done for me. And really made one of my bucket list items come true, and just made it happen for me. So my idiots at my podcast people, the Book Asylum, Dungeon Dan and Lee, who have come through as and watched, and I know Landa too. Thank you so much for watching. But other than that, I just want to thank everyone for having me on here. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank everyone for tuning in and watching. And this was definitely the funnest podcast I've been on. So you guys are great.
Well, I think you have a new follower with Mike now. I think Mike's going to be stalking your profile.
Do it, baby.
And Lee, I know where you're trying to go at with this joke right here, but at the same time, the fact that we're part of Watching Weird and Folking Weird, I don't think you realize how spot on you are with your comment.
I did see you guys had a Folking Weird, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Look
so
at that.
Awesome over there. It's so awesome. Okay, well, Lee's fighting you now.
It's fight over you now. It's fine.
Rikki, Landa loves you.
Thank you.
But thank you everyone for hopping on. We'll definitely have Jenn back on again, because I feel like this is a to be continued episode. And like we said, Jenn's in Tucson, so if we get everyone back in Tucson again, maybe we can have a whole group. Yeah. We will try to do something with Mom and Dad, because that has been a request.
Let's do a bonfire show again.
Yeah, to have Dan and Kathy on the episode, which I think Rick and I are like, let's be careful what we say.
Is drinking involved?
That's the thing.
Is drinking involved?
Yeah, because it's my house, so that's
I'll bring a bottle.
But thank you for being on. We will definitely have you back on again. It has been a pleasure. Super fun. If you guys want to check out Jenn, definitely check out her Facebook, her Amazon, her podcast, her apothecary. If you have that person in your life you don't want anymore, check out that hot foot powder. She will hook you up.
I will.
All right. Good show tonight, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye.